All right, everybody, from left to right, we have Coach Close, Lauren Betts, and London Jones. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Close and then take questions from the room. I'll hand it off.
Well, as usual, thank you all for being here. I think I said to a few of you at the very beginning of the year that if you don't help us create this buzz, Southern California is going to miss out on phenomenal basketball. I knew USC was going to be good. I knew we were going to be good. And I begged you. I said, we need your help to create the buzz and to tell the stories of these amazing women, and you all have stepped up. And this is about something bigger than just this one game. This is about growing Southern California basketball, and specifically girls and women in sport, and not taking anything away from men's sports, but adding to, and just telling their stories in a major way. So thank you. Sincerely, thank you. I thought it was such a gutsy win. We knew that they're a really good team, we're a really good team, and it was we needed to have every battle. We have a goal every game to have 75 passion plays or better, and those are all the things that don't show up in a stat sheet. Deflections, 50-50s, out-of-area rebounds, assist box outs, assist screens, so on and so forth. And we had 76, and we needed every single one. And credit to USC. I thought Forbes and Watkins were amazing. They did a great job. They gave us everything we could handle. But I was proud of two things. One, our response. We had adversity, we had foul trouble, we had people that didn't play as well as they wanted to the first half, and we responded. And secondly, I'm proud of our steadiness of our seniors, and especially Cameron Brown and Charisma Osborne. Just elite leadership, and what a great game to be a part of.
We'll start with LT and go to Charisma.
Chloe, first of all, I'm going to work backwards. Looking at the rankings of all the Pac-12 teams that are in the top rankings, is it going to be a real gauntlet this year for every game you guys play? That's the first
every game. That's going to be just an absolute, what an honor for the last Pac-12 year for us to have such an elite conference, and we're just going to battle every night and have so many great teams. I believe there'll be 9 teams when it's all said and done that are in the NCAA tournament, and what an honor to be a part.
And then my last question is, you guys dominated on offensive boards. And then that young lady down there, Ms. Jones, her three-point game.
Ice in her veins. I mean, there's a couple things you can't teach. And one is not only 6'7", but her IQ and relentlessness and desire. And then you can't teach the moxie and the swagger. But that would be empty if they didn't put in the work. And just so proud of both of these guys. And the first half didn't go their way for a while. She got 2 early fouls. London did. Lauren was, not as efficient as she normally was, and got herself to respond in a great way. But man, that three-pointer that she just backed up. If you're going to guard me at the line, I'll just back up. And it just showed such incredible confidence. But that's confidence that she's earned, not confidence she's been given.
Coach, ladies, front row, Crystal Rich, KTLA, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
You guys set the tone defensively very early. 5 steals in that first quarter, really good transition defense. What did you see on that side of the ball?
Well, I saw inconsistency, if I'm being really honest. We had so many possessions where we didn't respond like we did in the first 5 minutes. And that's great, but that's only good if you sustain it. And, as happy as I am and proud as I am of our team, we've got some room to grow in that area, because that's exactly when we lost the lead, is when we weren't communicative in transition D, when we were reactionary instead of anticipatory, when we weren't dictating. It came back to bite us. And honestly, I think they would all say the same thing, that we were way too inconsistent with executing transition defense and really pressuring the basketball.
And just last one for you, from stretching the floor to points in the paint, you guys once again do this with balanced scoring. How important has that been so far in the season?
Well, and let me be really clear, they're a really good team, obviously, but we thought that was to our advantage, is that we had balance, and we weren't totally sure who it was going to come from. And you all have heard me say this over and over again, but sometimes you, sometimes me, always us. And just maintaining that, that's not easy. That's easy to have a little ring and a slogan, but it's hard to live out when maybe something doesn't go your way. And that's what I'm most proud of, is that we have balance balance, and on any given night, it could be any given person. And, it's really nice to have that kind of depth. Baron Davis, we took all of our alumni, and some of our men's basketball alumni were there too, and Baron Davis pointed out Lena Zontag. He's like, wow, when she gets more experience, she's just always around the ball, always making plays. And, I just think that's the strength of our team, is it may look different every night, but we have such balance and so many people who can make winning plays.
London, you're a Cali girl. What did it mean to play in front of this sold-out crowd? And how do you think you guys can build on kind of the energy and the momentum of what this program is doing right now?
Yeah, I think we practice extremely hard, and I think when you do that, it makes the games a lot easier. But always just working together, and then being from Cali, it means everything. Just seeing everyone out here with the support, it's tremendous. We appreciate it so much. But yeah, just working hard and building on today, because it's not over.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, going back to the defense a little bit, I know you talked about how, you saw a lot of inconsistencies out there. But, I thought Charisma in particular, one of the primary defenders on Juju Watkins, not just on ball, but denying off ball and kind of,
Totally.
Blowing up some of the sets that they like to run. Just kind of what did you see out of her on that end?
Well, and it was interesting. We wanted to rotate more people, and we did a little bit, but every time she was off of her, Juju got in a rhythm. And you said it really well, that it wasn't just on the ball, it was the work away from the ball. We wanted to make all of her touches hard. We want to anticipate. I think what people don't understand about Charisma is how high her basketball IQ is. She knows every single part of the scouting report better than anyone else. And I go to her a lot. I'm like, what are you thinking? What are you feeling out there? And because she's just an elite basketball IQ combined with a ferocious desire to defend. And that's a pretty darn good, combination.
For Corey and also for Lauren and London, how much did that experience factor, but also the non-conference schedule you play kind of help tonight, because you guys threw out the first punch at the beginning of both halves, but they responded and stormed back when usually some teams can fold, and you guys overrode it.
What do you think, Lauren? How much was that an advantage to have the kind of tough non-conference schedule we had?
Today was like a Sweet 16 matchup. I think our non-conference schedule gave us a lot of experience. It was definitely a tough schedule that we had. I think going into today, we were very prepared. We had to face adversity, and I think before this game even happened, so I think we just came into today knowing that whatever happened, we were going to be the much tougher together team, as Coach Corey likes to say. So I just think that we were really prepared today because of all the experience we've had.
Yeah, and I've said this to you before, but I think that you got to go through the fires, and with every fire, even if though we're undefeated, we've had to face different things, and I think the more you invite that in your non-conference schedule, it always pays dividends, because everyone's things get exposed, and that's what you need in the non-conference. You need to get poor habits to get exposed. You need to have certain things, and even though we found a way to win all those games, we still had to face things that we were missing, and so I really did think it earned us a level of confidence, and also through the ebbs and flows that we were really prepared.
Yeah, this is for London. You seem to really seize the moment in the second half. It's like you really wanted the ball in your hands. Is that correct?
My team does a really
She wanted
good
the ball
job.
more.
My team does a really good job of finding me and just looking for the person that's hot in general. And it's not always me, but we do a really good job of making sure we do find that person. And when we do, we continue to go to them. So.
And for either Lauren or London, you guys have, this was quite a game. What can you say that you've taken from this game that you can learn from and move on into the next game and into the conference play?
I think just our consistency. I thought we could have done, obviously, like Coach Corey said, we could have been a lot better in that. And just making sure, like, when things don't go away, that we have to pick up our communication even more. I think when things started to get a little hectic, we just felt like a little rushed. And then we just got in our heads. And I'll be the first one to say I was in my head the first half. So I think that's something that we could definitely build on. But I'm just really proud of our team today and how we fought. But there's obviously a lot more room to improve.
For Lauren and London, you kind of alluded to this earlier, but you guys have played in some really cool environments, USA tournaments, all sorts of things. I've never felt a buzz like this in Poly before, not even when you played Oklahoma last year. Like, how did this environment compare to other places that you've played before?
Yeah, the crowd gets us going, especially on a home game. And just seeing every face that was out there means a lot to us, and that keeps us going. But we just appreciate it so much, and we thank everybody for the support. But me and Lo, like you said, USA and things like that, we've played against really competition. So I think the biggest thing is just not being complacent, and then having that eager to just continue to get better.
And just can I build on that is that I think we have a really great sense of humility that that energy, we stand on the shoulders of a lot of people who came before us. I think about former staff members that have been a part of this building process. We had all of our alumni in the locker room with us, and just all the people behind the scenes administratively that worked so hard during a holiday break is really, really difficult. And so it really is. That was awesome. That was so fun. And I was sitting there right before the game with just great humility, going, there are so many people that we have stood on their shoulders and that they helped us make this happen. And so we really want to maintain that sense of gratitude and humility that we don't do this alone.
And then Lauren, that matchup with Rhea, she's obviously one of the better defenders in the Pac-12. What was she doing to make things difficult for you, and how did you sort of work through that?
Yeah, Rhea's really talented. She's super athletic and strong, and she kept getting around every time I tried to post up. So obviously she's a talented post, so she knows how to defend other good posts. But yeah, kudos to her. She played a really good game today, and yeah, it was definitely a tough matchup. So she's super talented. Yeah.
London, you came down and hit a transition 3, which was very reminiscent of a LA legend, Nick Van Exel. Are you familiar with who Nick Van Exel is?
I'm not.
And if not,
She says, I'm not.
if not,
We'll put them on your visualization.
who do you model your game after?
That's a really good question. I like to watch a lot of Isaiah Thomas. I just like the adversity that he faces and everything that he's overcome. And it's not easy being short, but I think he does a really good job of doing that. And so I like to look to that.
Corey, I should know this, but I apologize. Your players after the game led the crowd in a clap, and then they went around the stands. Is this something you always do, and what's behind this?
Every single game. Honestly, I stole that from a coach, Jane Albright, who started doing that when she was at Northern Illinois and then Wisconsin. And I just think when you're trying to build a program, that connection with your fans and your fan base, and especially the little kids, I think that a lot of people come, in LA, it's hard to compete for that entertainment dollar, but one of the reasons that we have been consistently building in attendance is because it's more than entertainment. It's about a connection to the journey of these young women. And I think that's one of the ways that we can just connect with the people and tell them thank you and maybe inspire just one little kid. And I just think the fans really appreciate really feeling a part of their journey. But like every good idea, I steal it from somebody else. I got to give a shout out to Jane on that. But I think it's really important. And speaking of that, I want to give a shout out to Tasha Brown and our video assistant and our analytics guy, Sam, who worked on the scouting report. The best thing I did is hire people that are a lot smarter than me, and I thought they did an excellent job on the scout tonight.
Lauren and London, do you feel like you played USC especially physical tonight? And how have you guys kind of grown to be such a physical team?
I would say it starts with practice. I mean, we have like the best practice players of all time, and the guys do not take it easy on us, Jesus knows. And I think that physicality starts in practice and just going against them every day. So I think, even preparing for this game, they played as SC, and we had to be super physical against the practice guys. So I think just, doing that in practice led to this game today. And yeah, SC is a very physical team. So yeah, we couldn't slack off on that at all. We had to just, bring our physicality up even more, which I thought we did today.
Corey, building.
Nope, go ahead.
Good.
No, London, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, just to go off of what Lauren says, it definitely happens in practice, and I think, like we said before, like consistency is the biggest thing, but also defense. Like we've been making a point to really be better defenders, and I think we still have a lot of work to do, but I think today showed that we've been at least focusing on it. So.
London, I apologize. I jumped the gun.
Okay.
But Corey, as far as building off of this and how you capitalize on it going forward, and I asked Lindsay the same question. Do you wish maybe this would have been on the big network rather than on the Pac-12 network where more people could see it?
Well, I think, we just can't get distracted by things that are out of our control. I think the reality is that, there's a lot of things on TV today. And so I think that it's easy to say, well, this game should have been national. Well, who are we going to upstage? Are we going to upstage the Cowboys today? Are we going to upstage, So I just,
that's a fair question.
But maybe, I will boldly say that this was the hottest ticket in any sport, in any male or female today in Southern California. That's saying something, and we've worked really hard to get to that point. And credit to USC as well as to us that have made this happen. And both teams are really young and are going to be good for a really, really long time. And this is going to be a fun thing to build and follow. But the reality for us is I have no control over that. And they should have been here. They should have bought Pac-12 Network, whatever, I don't care. But the reality is that if you weren't here and you didn't find a way to watch it, you missed out. So maybe do something about it and be with us next time.
There you go.
Okay.
Last question.
Corey, when they did the post-game interview with you, you got pretty emotional, which we've kind of seen that from Chip a couple times. During football. Was it at that point that kind of everything hit you with the win and the crowd and everything?
So you'll get me now, too.
Earlier?
There's a lot of people who have invested and believed. But specifically today, I looked across the court and we lost Jan Cloyd, who was one of our original biggest donors. And she had a 3-time breast cancer survivor and believed in these women in unbelievable ways. If you ask all of our alumni since I have been here, they will say she has been one of their most influential people in their experience. And Elaine, who was one of her best friends, was sitting across the court and just holding up her jersey. It just hit me like, I literally thought to myself, I hope her and my dad are watching this game together and maybe bring Coach Wooden along too. But she really impacted me. So she was an incredibly successful businesswoman. She was my first call when I needed someone that was safe to talk about leadership and building something and being a female in a male-dominated world. And so sorry to get emotional, but it's just, she really deeply impacted me, and I wanted to just honor her. So, sorry. All right, well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Sorry to lose it, but just really thank you. And don't leave us now. We got a really good thing going here, and we need to, these guys deserve it. They deserve to be not once in a while. They deserve to have their journey told this entire year, and I need you guys to help us to make that happen. Okay? Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.